I see what you did there, Spain. I got to pull a Chad. See what Chad's done. We're both wearing Santa hats. And what Chad's done is he's
There's a
poked a little
trick.
bit of hair out in an effort
Yeah.
to make his five head look like a four head.
Well,
And then
well, check
I,
this out though, because like if I pull it down, first of all, I can't because my head's too big. And second, if I
I've
do
had that
this,
problem.
like look at it, like am I bald? I don't know. Neither do you. But you just take
Exactly.
it and you just push it down just a little bit, and then it's fashionable.
Yeah.
Like it's
See, there
highly
we go.
fashionable. Yeah, we're a couple of good-looking dudes who's talking sports cards now.
And Adam, oh, it's a 101.
Boys and girls at home and kids in the gallery, let's go!
Hello, Pack-O-Maniacs, and welcome to another episode of Pack to the Future. I'm your host, Ricky, a.k.a. Mr. eBay. And I'm joined by my co-host and partner in crime, Dr. Chad.
Someone call for a doctor?
How you doing, Doc?
I am forehead and I am great. Thank you.
Trying to make my forehead look bigger than his. How dare he?
Well, you know, get with the times.
We have got a fun show for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking, debating the 2025 product of the year. We've got all sorts of different hobby news and scandal. But before we get to any of that, before we even get to show announcements, Chad,
What?
hey, our boy Alex Jones is back on the show because the Classic Card Show is back for the annual holiday event.
Yes.
Yeah!
What's up?
Look at his reindeer ears.
Yes!
I
Alex,
saw
how
the
are you?
hats. I had to join in.
Yes.
I had to.
Yes.
Just
Well,
laying about, so.
we've got another show coming up December 13th, the same place we've been seeing you guys, Embassy Suites by Hilton, 10333 South Jordan Gateway, South Jordan, Utah, 84095 from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. that Saturday, December 13th.
That's right.
Oh,
And it's holiday themed. We're gonna have the whole works. So I saw you boys at the Halloween show and just kicking it back up. This is the next show. This
Yeah.
flyer, which I wanted to announce specifically on here
Oh.
for
Yeah,
our
I'll
winter
pull
time,
it
but
off.
we'll
I'll
get
pull
to
it
that.
off. I'll pull it off.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
What
we'll
an
get there.
idiot. See, that's
We'll
what
get there.
happens when you leave an idiot to run this show. You know,
That's right. We're front loading. We're front loading the content. Why
Here we
keep them
go.
waiting?
I'll pull it right up. I'll pull it right up. And here we go.
Oh, yeah.
There it
Sorry
is.
about that.
No, you're fine.
This
You're fine.
is going to be awesome, though. Here's what I love about you, Alex. You come out swinging on one of the biggest holidays known to man, Halloween. You skip over Thanksgiving because it's a great big bowl of just okay,
Yep.
and then we come flying back for Christmas. Easily a top 2 holiday,
I think in most anywhere you ask, I would say.
right?
For sure. The holiday season, yep. I mean, Thanksgiving's for football and eating, I say.
Exactly. Exactly.
I can't be bothered with a card show then. But no, now's the time. And we've got beautiful weather here in Utah. So
Oh, hasn't it been amazing?
it's questionably awesome.
Exactly.
You're raising eyebrows. But yeah, no, it's a good time. And it'll be nice for this weekend. People won't be trudging through the snow trying to get to the show. So
Absolutely. Now, what can we expect with a holiday themed classic card show?
you can expect a lot of giveaways and a lot of themes, kind of the same kind of stuff as before, but brought to life with the holiday theming. And we're going to be giving away more stuff than ever before. As always, our 100+ free packs to the first 100 people. So get early if you want to be one of those people. We had people lining up last show pretty early, but as you guys noted, it's a little less chaotic a little later. So if you don't want to deal with a big onslaught of people, you can give yourself a little bit of time and kind of maybe come a little later in the day. But we had a pretty good flow all day.
Yeah.
And we've got even more vendors than before, but not, again, I think I tried to tackle the goal of not making it so packed in there this last show, and I think we accomplished that a little bit.
Oh,
Means
yeah.
a little less vendors. There's more in the hallway, but we've got more this time, but not more in the main room, so we'll still have plenty of breathability.
Yes.
Nice open show, but do an hourly raffles. I say hourly, but during the day I start looking at all the stuff I have to give away, and I start going every half hour. I feel like sometimes. So
Yeah, no, I have to point out, Alex is right. You have to get there, on time, a little early, if you want to make sure you get your spot in line for those guaranteed packs, quote unquote. But I have to say, when Chad and I showed up the last show, about 2-3 in the afternoon,
Yeah.
Alex is still out there handing out packs. He gave us some and these are like prism packs. These were amazing. He's the only time you don't see him out glad handing and handing out gifts is when he's up announcing raffle winners. I think I saw you announce like 3. We weren't even there that long.
Yep, we try and I want people to have an experience, even if they, don't have a lot of money to spend, and have a chance at winning something. And we've got Plinko for the kids, which we always run, and so kids have something to do too, and handing out some gifts there. And it's a wonderful thing to have a show where it feels like it's not just come and buy stuff. There's more going on. So, and that's what been the goal from the jump, will continue to be the goal. Going to try and work more and more elements in that are, come and have an activity, not just shop. And shopping's a big part. I don't want to sell, I try and get the best vendors possible too. So, and there's a lot of good finds out there for those who are hunting, but those who, the wife and kids who are getting drugged there by dad, we've got something for them. So
that's awesome.
Always something to do.
Before you talk more about the giveaways that you have lined up for this show, I want to go back and highlight a couple of things about last show.
Thank you.
I will say, Ricky, you touched on this. When we went in the afternoon, it was such a comfortable walking around card show experience. It was not nearly as crowded as the first show when we got there for the first day. Oh, it was very comfortable. In fact, so much so, Ricky and I highlighted this on one of the shows afterwards, that Ricky had found a card for one of our listeners who's a big New England Patriot fan. And it was easy enough for Ricky to turn around, grab me, I think it was at the next table over, easily went back and looked at the card, and we stood in front of the booth very comfortably, chatted about it, had time to pull out our phones, message our friend and say, hey, is this something that you want? We continued to browse around the show. He messaged us back, easily went back and picked up the card. It was a perfect experience, which is exactly what you had hoped for when we talked about this the first time around, and you completely nailed it. So that is absolutely perfect. So I love to hear that there are not more tables inside the actual main room to preserve that experience.
Yep, and that led to a little bit of just, we rented the additional section to kind of spread everything out a little bit more. And the first show, didn't really know. I didn't expect the amount of people. Kind of prepared. I would say almost over prepared for it for the Halloween show, but it was still a nice flow all through the day. I didn't have any vendors going, hey, what's going on? And that's what I hear with some of these other shows, not throwing shade or anything, but just a lot of them kind of die out towards the end from what I understand. And that's where I think having constant raffles and stuff like that can help keep people there, and also having a nice open space like you're talking about. So that's always been the goal, and I'm glad to hear that it was achieved.
Yeah, it definitely was. And the vendor who I bought that card for our listener from, it was overtime, and they were saying, yeah, it's been consistently, exactly what you just said, it's been consistently busy throughout. Like, they were pleasantly remarking on how good of an experience it was for them. And so that was awesome. Everything Chad said was 100% true, except for one thing. I was comfortable. The average human was comfortable at that table.
Mm-hmm.
Chad had been poisoned the night before, and I would not call what he was at all close to comfortable.
No, Ricky, thanks for pointing that out, and completely needed for a show that happened 2 months ago. So
just kidding.
Nailed it right on the head. Yeah, that's part of the reason why we bailed out of there early. But I think I'm going to be in attendance for this one, and definitely plan to stay a little bit longer. And I'm hoping that I can find a way to even live stream it to see if there's people who want to pick up things while they're watching our channel too. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
One last little piece to not to belabor the points, Ricky, that you said, but I think we should highlight this. And Alex, I don't know if you think about this when you have your vendors, but I personally love the fact that, you know, our local card shop did have a big booth there, and they had some higher end cards. Ricky, probably the higher end cards that we saw came from Overtime booth. But then we also had smaller tables that had 90s cards and 90s inserts that weren't as pricey. And then you had some middle range tables as well. So it wasn't like, Ricky, when you and I went to the Vegas card show a few years back and everything was super high end. And it's not like some of the other card shows that we've been to where you're like, well, yeah, you know, most of these are commons or singles. There seemed to be a very good variety. I don't know if that was intentional, but if it was, you also nailed that.
Yep. I think it's just a side effect of kind of letting. I mean, I plan the sponsors out, and Overtime's so awesome, and so is the Card Coop, and they're back again this show, and I think it's just going to kind of be a reoccurring thing. And we've got, you know, I've got other sponsors that are kind of saying, hey, I want in, but I don't want to overcrowd it, so it's tough. But I'm never gonna, you know, I'm gonna try and incorporate everybody. But yes, that's definitely intentional as far as always getting some big higher end sponsors that people have heard of, and then also incorporating anyone who has a big selection that they want to try and set up a table. Just giving people and kind of organizing the room. I'm sure you guys have noticed where it's like sports are kind of in one place, and then a mixture in one place, and then more Pokemon in one place. And that's harder to do than I thought it would initially be, but it's certainly worth it, I feel like, for people who are only coming for one thing. A lot of people do everything, but some people just say, hey, I just want sports, or hey, I'm just here for the silly monsters, Pokemon lovers. So
Yeah. No, it is an awesome variety and all sorts of range of product, meaning there is something for everyone, every price point. It's a great, active, lively environment. I just cannot say enough good things about the show you've put on with the Classic Card Show, Alex.
But Ricky, did you even see this? Did you see this?
What?
Look at this. Alex, do you want to talk about this photo that we've got up here on the screen?
this photo is on our Facebook and Instagram, and it's just the giveaways slotted for the show, and I've added even more. I've got my own personal addiction, which doesn't help with this, and I love giving away stuff. And sponsors have helped with this for sure.
Wow.
But there's also a lot of just me saying, well, what else do I need to fill? What am I trying to do? And trying to touch every kind of corner of what we can give to people. And we have the wheel where people will spin and get something. And sometimes I see people get dissuade with what they want if they're a huge sports fan and they win a Pokemon box. And I find myself often like wanting backup things to be like, oh, you don't want Pokemon? Well, I don't want you to feel like you won something you didn't want. Here's this. And especially with this Christmas show, I definitely want to do that. I haven't touched on this, and I want to really quickly. We are partnering with a charity called Be the Hope Utah for this show, and they're going to have a table there. We're kind of raising awareness for the charity, and there's going to be options to kind of donate for that there. It is on an updated flyer, but just not the one that I've got on the website, unfortunately. But they'll be there. People can talk to the gal running it. Her name's Lauren. She's awesome. But it's for childhood cancer here locally in Utah. So we're partnering with them, going to try and give back for the holiday season as well, on top of doing these giveaways. So a lot of this is sponsorship stuff, and a lot of it is stuff for my own out there shopping, going, what can I give people? And just wanting to, again, make an event out of something, and knowing that I feel like, this is a space that's kind of untapped in the card show side, where it's a giveaway and people are feeling like they're participating in something even if they're not buying something. So the more I can highlight that, and the more I can emphasize that, by even if it costs me money that I could be making, I don't care. It's about raising the brand, and like I said from the jump, trying to have the best show possible, and one day hopefully go to other states and build Utah into this one of these card stations that even the local, the big national shows are looking at. So
awesome. That's amazing, man. Yeah, go to the show, and it's perfect for your holiday shopping. Even if, for a loved one or for yourself if you're into that. I abide by the rule: don't buy for yourself right before Christmas, but there's always people to buy for. Um,
As long as you
and
get something for someone else, I think.
get a little, yeah,
Get something for
yeah.
someone else, then
You
mix
know,
something in for you. I
it-
was I
it-
was running around and I had a conversation with someone at Target, and a lot of the raising the show awareness I know is online, but I still find myself like going to Target with flyers or Walmart and just bumping into people in the card section and saying, "Hey, come to the show." And we had that same conversation of like, well, I feel bad, but as long as I get something for my wife, then it should be okay, or my son. It's like, yep, that's good enough for me. There'll be plenty of stuff to go
exactly.
around. So
I love that approach. And you can meet and learn about a great cause
Yep.
and help them out. So excellent job, Alex. I'm so excited for this show.
Excellent. Well, Alex, before we let you go, give us a plug one more time for this show, and then the photo that you sent me right before the show here. If now's the time, maybe I'll throw that up there as well.
yep, this show is gonna be this weekend, and come on by. Well, like we've talked about in depth, we'll have tons of stuff, and I hope to see you gentlemen there if you can make it, and
Definitely.
I'll hold some stuff aside.
Oh,
And
you're too kind.
Yep, surprise you. But yeah, and then this is breaking news. We kind of front loaded it, but it doesn't matter because it's the same thing. We're coming right back at the end of February with the Winter's End show.
What?
So,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
where it's gonna be kind of spring themed. Nothing crazy with the theming here, but it's just gonna be another great show at the same place. So spacing it out a little bit. I could use a break. I'd love to say this is my full-time job. Unfortunately, it's not. Maybe one day, but not right now. So, but yep, this is the next show that's on the slate. So mark it down. And
Again, perfect timing. After Christmas, there's kind of this lull, I guess, through the new year, where it's just we're over winter. We're waiting for it to end. You just kind of got to get through a couple more months, and this is the perfect way to celebrate the end of winter and getting
Yes.
back into sports season.
hoping it's not snowing. That's what I'm mostly trying to dodge. I don't want to be setting up the show in blizzards,
Fair.
let alone expecting people to come. So this is the hope that end of February, hopefully it's not too bad. So
Oh, well, awesome. Well done. I am so excited. We will definitely be there Saturday. I will
Yes.
I will definitely be at this show in February as well. So thanks again, Alex, for joining the show.
thanks as always for having me, and I look forward to seeing you guys this weekend.
Take care, man.
All right. Take
All
care,
right,
Alex.
see you
We'll
guys.
All right. So that is Alex with the Classic Card Show. You can go check them out at theclassiccardshow.com or on Instagram at Classic Card Show.
Yeah.
Ricky, I totally screwed up that photo. He's like, guys, I'm going to do the breaking news on your show. And it's the first thing that I showed. I totally screwed it up. Can you
Uh-oh.
believe that?
Yeah, it happens.
I totally screwed it up.
Surprise.
And the last card show that we went to,
Yeah.
I told you that in confidence. You bastard. And you know what? I knew the second that I told you, and I even had you take a photo because I'm like, hey, I need this as a reminder. And the second I did that, I'm like, I'm going to regret this.
Well,
Ricky's going to use it. He's going to use it. And I regretted it. And I
I
deserve it.
I appreciate that you're so hard on yourself, but you got to cut yourself some slack. You had to come out with it. Your body was and face was showing it. You were a projection of yourself. Oh man.
That's good stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I'm
am-
super excited. And you know what?
I am
I should
too.
have said this when Alex was here. It's kind of like this Michael Scott moment when I think Michael tells Oscar that he would never say this to Pam's face, but she's absolutely incredible. Alex is doing a fantastic service for the people of Salt Lake who are card collectors. Like, it's not everywhere that you get someone who has the passion, the drive, the follow through, and the ability to make a show. So if you're in the Salt Lake area and can make it up, please,
Yeah.
please go
Support
up
our
there and
boy.
do it. Tell him that you heard him on the show and
Yep.
just say hello.
Definitely.
All right. Well, there we go. How you feel? How you feeling? This is what we're gonna do. You've got the
Oh.
show notes pulled up. Let me hit
I'll
up
tell
some
you.
announcements
Oh,
if we're
yes,
good with
thank
that.
you. We do need
You-
to get
you-
to announcements.
You feeling good about that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, so we'll hit up just a couple of show announcements. First of all, we'll remind people of what we do each and every week is to go check out our website, pttfpodcast.com. From that website, you can listen to each and every one of our shows, which we appreciate greatly. You are also able to find all of our sponsors and affiliate links. Most importantly for us, each and every time you go shop on eBay, go log on to eBay, go over to our website, click the eBay and affiliate link. From there, you shop as planned. It's free for you. Everything you purchase in the next 24 hours, the show gets a small commission. We love you dearly, and so dearly when you do that,
Yes.
that we are doing giveaways. Ricky, we announced it last week that for December, it's going to be a $75 gift card to one lucky winner who purchases anything off of eBay during the month of December. Now, each and every week, we're going to announce a weekly winner. And then at the end of the month, we'll pick one of those winners. December is the exception to that because we have Secret Santa and we don't want to have any Secret Santa spoilers.
Correct.
So the next announcement, aside from the website, I want to talk about briefly Secret Santa. Now, the call for submissions is already passed, Ricky, but we have settled on a date for the Secret Santa. And I don't even think I put this in the group chat yet. We had a vote. It's a democracy in there.
It is. That's true.
And we stated that Saturday, December 27th, I believe at 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 Mountain Time, is going to be the live unveiling of Secret Santa. It will be live for everyone who is involved with Secret Santa. If you did not participate in Secret Santa, maybe you will see it later. I guess we're going to have to talk about whether or not we want to post that later as a show.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the update for Secret Santa. That will be Saturday, the 27th.
Perfect.
And you know what? I almost forgot one thing. We
What's
just
that?
had a show comment on the YouTube about a giveaway. So there's one other thing, Ricky, I forgot about on the website. Last week, we had the opportunity to interview Keegan Hall. And Ricky, you did a great job with that
Yes.
interview, by the way. I wanted
Thank
to tell
you.
you. But you can enter his contest, My Cards, My City, where you have a free entry to win round trip airfare to go to Seattle, hang out with Keegan, and he's going to take you to a sporting event. And all you have to do with that is visit his website. Oh, it looks like I got to change this link. The link's not right. But you visit KeeganHall.com, you scroll down to the bottom, you get a free entry, and then hopefully you will be the lucky winner. I'll get this link fixed up tomorrow.
Yeah, I got to get my entry in ASAP. I'm going to Seattle. We're going to Seattle.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, Ricky, that's it for my announcements.
All right. Hobby news.
Yeah, how you feeling about that for segment 2? We've got some serious hobby news to get to this week. We may need some music for that one.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely the music. Okay. This blew me away. This first report. Collectors spent more than $416 million on sports and trading cards online. And I'm reading the wrong story. That's from back in August. Collectors spent more than $392 million on sports trading cards online in October. This is according to Card Ladder. October's total is the second most recorded by Card Ladder in a single month, behind only that 422 million I just listed back in August. The total will continue to rise as sales are actively added to Card Ladder. They try and track. For those that don't know, Card Ladder is an app that tries to track sales of cards through a variety of marketplaces, platforms, and use that data to give you real-time comp prices of cards. I was blown away by this figure. It feels like we're back in 2020.
Yeah, it really does.
Talking about this.
It really
I'm
does.
shocked. I think it's awesome that the hobby's done so well. I mean, it sucks that it makes it harder to get cards, but it's cool that it's the cool thing to be into. It's fun. Um, and I don't know if you saw this, but on ESPN today, they listed that a Kobe Bryant card fetched 1.22 million at auction. It's like this double patch auto upper deck exquisite collection.
Okay.
And they go on to list some other cards. There were like 5 cards that were over 500,000.
Yeah.
One was a Topps 2005 Topps Finest Super Fractor die cut Tom Brady, not auto, no patch, $704,000.
That's been really big time football card.
Yeah.
And, a pretty impressive one. Lots of chatter about that in the hobby over the past week. And I agree. It just goes to show you, even though this data is from October that I had pulled up, it's just a massive number. And I think I heard Chris McGill, so Chris Hoge, who's part of Card Ladder, obviously, I thought I heard him talk that maybe November had dipped slightly with this 392 million. But it's just such a big number. We talked about it ever since really it felt like the National this year. The card price is just up and up and up. And I feel it seems to me very much like 2020 all over again. Well, I don't know what the tipping point's going to be.
And even from the August report, they go on to mention this that Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan dual logo man auto we saw at the National.
Yeah.
It sold for 12.93 million. And I know we covered it back then, but it sold to like 3 different partners.
Yeah. Yep.
Imagine, like, again, it feels like 2020 and Zion, except we saw Zion in the basement this year.
Yeah, it's very true. Just big numbers everywhere. When I saw this one, again, even though I saw that the data is a little bit older, I was like, hey, you know what? This is notable. It impacts all of us. Like, we've all felt to some degree as we're looking for cards, probably that prices have bumped up a little bit. I completely agree with what you said. It's cool, but it kind of sucks when you go to buy cards.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to the second one. I think the second one is me. So, Ricky, we did this maybe a month or so ago, and I thought maybe once a month it would be an interesting thing to revisit. And it's from GemRate, and it's looking at different data and statistics revolving around people's grading patterns. And I think this will transition well into our next topic as well. So I've got a November grading summary. Now, what do you think about this? Grading across the board month to month? It's pretty far down. Like the PSA, they still graded 1.6 million, but down 16% over the last month. CGC coming in at number 2. Who would have thought that would have been the case a year ago, 5 years ago? They're down 20%, just like B is for. What is B for these days?
Third.
B is for third. We need to have like a running whiteboard up here somewhere for what B is for the week.
Yeah, like Kornheiser does.
Yes. Yes.
B is for. I'm going to get one printed, and it's going to be hard printed on there. B is for, and then you just fill out with like a erasable marker.
We need to have T-shirts, and then you can put Velcro on them, and then we can make like 15 different things, and we just slap one on for the day, and we can walk it around.
Yes, I love it. Ideas are endless.
In this case, B is for third, and also down 20%. So we're seeing a decline in grading.
Then why are their turnaround times so long?
Yeah, that's a hell of a question. Why don't you get Nat Turner on here? I've sent him a couple of messages over time, and he just leaves me on red.
Well,
so B is for third, and Nat is for left on red. Let's see. I want to continue to scroll down here. There's some other numbers that I thought were of note. Most interesting is, where is it? Cards graded by era. Now, I know that we visited this a couple of months ago. I thought it'd be fun to give a bit of an update. So the 2020s still seem to dominate the PSA landscape with over 40% of PSA, B is for third gets over 45%, all from the 2020s. And then it seems to go in fairly chronological order to the 2010s, to the 2000s, to the 90s, and the 80s. So I don't think that there's anything that's groundbreaking there, other than it still surprises me that people are buying these 2020 cards, they're immediately grading them, and I would assume probably flipping them, right?
Yeah.
I would assume a majority of these are not collectors who are doing this.
No, they're sports bras.
They are sports bras. Now, as we look by category, baseball seems to still be quite significant in the number of cards graded. Coming in second in sports is football, and then basketball third, which I do find a little bit interesting because, you know, it's always, for the people who flip cards, it's always that prospecting, and like the beginning of a season seems to be one of the highest times to buy a card, grade it, and then try and flip it.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky, is basketball sliding? Is basketball on the decline?
You know, I'm blown away. The next week we're going to cover Topps Chrome basketball, and I believe we may talk about the fact that the price could be affordable.
Yeah.
That's shocking. Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on. And it's just mind blowing. I guess that's how you know it's not 2020. Basketball was the craze at that point, right?
Right.
And it is absolutely not the leader at the moment. I don't know. Maybe it's priced itself out. Maybe they've, it's so, I don't know.
You know,
Maybe
that's the logical look at it, but let me tell you what really is the issue.
Okay. Because
I know what
wonder,
changed.
Go ahead.
I'll lay it right out there for you.
Yeah.
You don't even have to wonder about it. This is a very well-known fact. I consume, Ricky, a lot of hobby content. Like, I walk the dogs early in the morning, and I'm just always listening to podcasts as I'm doing it. So let me hit you with some real knowledge here.
Hit me with it.
The change between 2020 and now in basketball is Danny Ainge.
Nailed it.
People have gotten with the times. They've realized this guy is a total loser.
A fraud.
He is a total malignancy.
A thief.
For basketball, a thief. He's looking out for number one. And he's the reason that basketball cards have declined. There you go.
I don't think we need anything more than that.
Last piece that I'll comment on gem rate is when we look at the most graded cards by set, football, Panini Select, Panini Prism, Donruss Optic, followed by Basketball Prism, Basketball Select. These are all just the shiny cards. These are probably people just buying them and flipping them. So still got that stronghold over the grading scene. And Ricky, I think that I've probably killed that gem rate to death. And there we go.
Well, speaking of gem rate, speaking of PSA.
Oh, yes. This is juicy. Did you find this to be juicy?
Yeah, and a bummer.
I think we could talk about this a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh no. Oh no, Ricky.
So
Ricky. No.
It started to come out from a number of sources. I'm not going to necessarily refer to any of my sources, or I guess you have it up. That works great. We're seeing it on Reddit here, a post about an individual. I guess we might as well read it for those that are not watching on YouTube. Well, because it is humorous. Well, what I've been saying for months would happen has finally happened, with tons of people pushing back saying my claims were baseless. We finally have evidence. This guy has just got to have a rod just in his basement typing this up, getting ready to hit back and finally show his evidence. But PSA is what they're allegedly doing, and I'll be honest, I'll describe this to the best of my ability. When you send in cards to be graded, what they are doing with certain cards is they are revealing. When you send in cards to be graded by PSA or any company, I believe, to some degree, they all have a method where at least PSA will email you notification of updates as the card progresses through the system, and once it's done, they will email you your grade if you want to see it and have it revealed. And what PSA is allegedly doing here are grading a bunch of cards PSA 9s, and then going on. I guess now what they do is, in addition to revealing your grades, they now try to buy certain cards. They have a buyback program where immediately you get a link and you get offers to buy that PSA 9 at PSA 9 comps. What is then happening is when you sell those PSA 9s back to PSA, they are flipping them into PSA 10s and selling them online at PSA 10 comps, significantly higher. Now, how do you prove this, one might ask? Well, this YouTube clip refers to a show, and I apologize. I should have had the name of the show just for reference, but you can see this Reddit discussion. If you want to go find this clip, feel free to. But they refer to an individual who got like 11 PSA 9 on some Pokemon cards. I believe most of them were. And it might be even be this guy, like, talking about his story being covered. I don't know. But what he does is he goes on Twitter and complains and says, I send in 50 of these Pokemon cards. I would have expected a minimum of 11 to 12 of them to be 10s. All of them are 9s. I'm getting comp prices for 9s. Next thing he knows, a couple days later, he goes back onto his PSA Link website for the grade. And they say they suddenly 10 to 11 of his cards now say PSA 10. Luckily, he had not sold all of them yet. He asked PSA, what the hell? And they said, well, we monitored your Twitter and we agreed with you that we didn't give these cards a fair look. So we just reviewed them. So some of the cards you sold us turned into 10s, and some of the cards you didn't sell us turned into 10s. This is the biggest pile of crap. I don't know how you can possibly believe this. That, they can't even get their cards graded in a timely fashion, let alone go and follow us all around, chase us down, and find out on our Twitters which grades we dispute, and then agree to go regrade that. Where are they getting all this time? That's where your turnaround's coming from. This is the biggest load of crap of all time. It's the biggest conflict of interest of all time. I'm so bummed out. And actually, I think this serves as a non-PSA sponsored PSA that you should really buy your graded cards. These are subjective. Buy the card if it looks good, but it's a PSA 7, buy it if you like it, because God knows you're going to regrade it at some point or not, and someone else is going to call it a 10. The University of Utah sold out to a private corporation, and now PSA is screwing us on the grades. This is greed at its finest.
Where did the University of Utah have to come into this?
I don't know. Everyone's selling out.
So I've got a few different things to say this. First of all, Ricky, great job delivering that. Now, I did listen. Various people are covering this. I did listen to a podcast that I'm not proud of listening to, who did a pretty good job of breaking this down. Not as well done as you, but they stated that the buyback from PSA is from a third party, which I did not independently review. And so they stated that buyback was not actually a conflict of interest. However, this podcast, who has a podcaster who drives me absolutely insane with his narcissism, is also sponsored. That podcast is sponsored by PSA.
Okay.
I think if nothing else, even if the buyback thing was an honest mistake, which I don't believe it was,
Mm-hmm.
we still know that at best there is significant subjectivity in the grading of these cards. And clearly, it was put on example here. Someone complains about it, and all of a sudden, oh, they're changing the grade from the time that he opened it up and saw it in the app to the final grade. Now, Ricky, we all have examples of this. You know, whether we send the card back in because we don't believe that it should have had the grade that it did, or think
Yeah.
about me with the Kobe Bryant. I sent it in. They're like, nope, not authentic. Throw it at his front door. Or what about the Michael Jordan that I sent in? I forget what it was. It was like a 90s Michael Jordan. It came back like a 4 or a 6. And just to prove a point, all I did was bust it out of the slab, send it back in, and it came back a 9. Now, the difference in that card is a $5 card versus a $12 card, like BFD.
Yeah.
But when you get into cards that are worth significantly more money, and there are examples of this happening, I know that grading is somewhat subjective, but it just needs to be better, especially when it comes to either them buying back cards or people who are really trying to get value out of these. And maybe the best way that we stop this from happening as collectors is to stop grading.
Yeah. No, I mean, it makes you lose a lot of confidence in the system, right? And I suppose we probably should have seen the signs, as you point out, when we're resubmitting Kobe's. Didn't you submit it like 3 times before?
I forget if it was 2 or 3. I mean, it was obviously
multiple,
at least
though.
2, and it felt like it was 3.
I've submitted the triple jersey patch, Kobe, Oscar Robertson, multiple times, and I guess we kind of look the other way when it's our cards, but yeah, it makes you lose confidence. And man, I'll shout out and correct me if it's the same. I really hope it's not the same podcast we were talking about. I don't think it was. I'm watching Junk Wax Hero was the name of the podcast. Give him a shout out on YouTube, and they cover it. And he has like a little clip of the of some of the cards to show the comps, and it says on there PSA has their logo offer, and then says like if you go to are you on his YouTube? If you go to minute 136.
Go to minute 1. Okay,
1
I'll
minute
pull it
36.
up.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it shows the PSA logo offered. Now maybe like they contract with a third party to run the system under their name, or they have the ability to use their licensing. But this PSA, I mean, it absolutely shows PSA on this offer. Isn't that crazy?
That is pretty wild. Now, with this, I know people can't hear this. I'm getting it right in my ear, so I just can't hear you with it. But yeah, I don't know. It's a problem, man.
Yeah.
It's definitely a problem. So I'm curious. I would love to hear more examples, right? Whether it's someone who sold a card through the PSA buyback or people who have submitted and resubmitted, you know, leave us a message. If you're watching this on YouTube, just put it in the comments below. And I just think the more examples of this that come out that we have documentation of, it can't hurt the hobby. I don't know that we're going to change anything with it, but
Right.
it does irk me when stuff like this happens.
Yeah. No, it's a bummer. Huge bummer.
Yeah.
Well, and it just makes you like,
done.
apprehensive to want to submit your cards if they're just going to tease you with 9s and just give you a 9 if you're not going to sell it back to them.
Yeah. Yeah, it does for sure.
I don't know. Oh, well,
Well, Ricky, well done. Are you still going to use PSA?
probably because I'm a rube and a boob.
B is for third. You could always boost him up.
I'm not going to B.
Fair enough.
Not
Fair
doing
enough.
it.
Well, Ricky, I had one other thing listed in news, but I say we're 44 minutes into this thing. Why don't we get on to our product of the year?
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to transition us?
Yeah, give me. Let's knock that down.
Yeah, sure thing.
And-
You know, Dan says that's why he's never resubmitted anything. I don't believe that out of Dan, but
Yeah, Dan's in the chat tonight, just saying all sorts of lies and rumors. He's saying, "Oh, that's Chad. I felt your pain when you told Ricky about the Halloween show. When I told him about my Omaha trip.
yeah.
You were there. Dan couldn't get more excited to tell us the details of that trip. We're not buying your bunk, Dan.
You know, when you get Dan
love
and
Dan.
Mitchell together, it's a
Oh,
dynamic
Mitchell,
duo.
not Mitch.
No,
I have a
Mitchell.
special place in
Yeah.
my heart for Mitchell.
A lot of people, what I've heard, just like on Instagram and through the various social medias, in podcast forums, are comparing those two to even like Adam West and Burt Ward, like
Yeah.
Batman and Robin. Just one of the iconic duos of all time is what some people are saying about it. So, yeah. I broke you with that one, huh? All right. Well, as Ricky attempts to recover, our main event for today, I had this wild idea that as the end of the year comes about, and I thought back upon our podcast content, especially Card Talk with Mrs. Doc, which if you're not listening to that, you can catch that on podcast form, but especially is good viewing on the YouTube format, which comes out every Wednesday. And it made me think, Ricky, I don't know that there's been a ton of products in 2025 that I have loved. Now, that was before I had my change, my inner reflection of positivity, Chad, baseball Chad. And I said, you know what? Why don't we discuss what, in fact, is actually the best product that has been released in 2025?
Yeah.
Now, we've got a couple of forums.
Would you
in
mind
which,
just highlighting Boston Steve's comment and just leave it up for this segment?
Yeah, you want me to just post
That
it up
works.
there?
There you go.
I think it's only going to let it be up there for 10 seconds, but I can click that thing until I get trigger finger and like my finger just doesn't even work.
You're
I mean,
good.
I'll just walk around like this for the rest of my life.
With Dan finger.
That's what we'll call it. So, Ricky, here is where I have some pull from. So I asked AI, I asked our Instagram audience.
Okay.
I put it in our show notes for you to peruse in your free time, which you do not have.
Mhm.
And then I also asked Sarah, Mrs. Doc, to weigh in on this. So I should probably send her a link, and she's going to come in and weigh in on this.
Oh,
But-
she's recording in the studio across the hall, and is going to join us as a special live Christmas season guest.
Yeah, I mean, what else could you ask for from us? So I want to start, if you're okay with it, we'll start with what AI had to say. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I put this on the show notes, but I'm not going to pull it up for people to read. But I do want to read off exactly what I input when I asked for the product of 2025. So I asked to provide a list of 3 to 5 of the best hobby products released in 2025. It can be any sport. Best is defined by quality of the product, response from consumers, price, quality of the players in the product, on-card autographs as opposed to stickers, game use patches, enjoyment factor of opening a box. And then I asked if there were any questions, and immediately from there, AI gave me a list of 5. So, as we do this, as I read off these 5, first of all, hey, Sarah, we can not quite hear you. I'm just about to read off the 5 from AI, and then we will bring you on. So you're going to hang tight in silence, but first of all, hello.
Hello.
Hey. So here's what AI had to say. Sarah doesn't love it when I use the AI, and I get it, but in this scenario, I used it, and I had to say it now, because otherwise, Ricky, like, you are literally in between us on the screen. You're going to be in the middle of some serious heat.
Why don't you like AI?
Oh, why? Why would you ask that right now?
I really want to know, but
Have you?
That-
So
No. That's for a different show.
off air.
It's for a different show. It's for a different show. Here are the top 5 lists of AI. The
Can
first
we do
one,
an AI spin-off show though? Like this next week or so? All right, sorry. I'm finished. Can I finish?
Dan actually has a banger right here. D is for dilemma. That's what I have right now. Okay. So, Sarah, I'm curious to what you think, actually, from both of you about these. Number 1 is what made the list. 2025 Bowman Baseball Hobby. And it said it's because of the classic rookie hunting action. This box includes a solid mix of top prospects, rookie cards, base, and upcoming stars. For 2025, the hype around new rookies and prospects makes this a go-to for anyone chasing long-term upside. Bowman, man. It rubbed me the wrong way that Bowman was the first one on there.
I get that, and I don't disagree. I mean, but it is a important box to baseball true hardcore baseball collectors.
That's fair. All right.
And I don't collect it. I hate Bowman.
And I'll give you the
said
next 4 in list form, and then perhaps we can discuss. Next, 2025 Topps Chrome Baseball Hobby Box, followed by 2025 Topps Pro Debut Hobby Box. First 3 are baseball. And then 2025 Panini Black Football. And lastly, 2024-2025 Topps Finest Basketball Hobby Box. Now, before I jump into detail on any of these, Sarah, Ricky, do you guys have any immediate reactions to that list I just read?
Well, I'm surprised there's no National Treasure, Flawless, Immaculate. I'm kind of surprised there's no Prism.
Well,
I'm not.
Yeah, so in response to that, though, you know, with those, Ricky, if you think about the way that I defined best, one of those was response from consumers and the price.
Yeah.
And it could, you know, it doesn't give a definition as to why it ranked these where it
How they
did,
weighted
but
it.
it really makes me wonder if price was the killer of this. Now, one that I do want to highlight, Sarah, and then I want your thoughts on this list, was Panini Black. So it said, you know, this is not a product, Ricky, that you and I have opened, but for football collectors, this one stands out. Nice checklist with top rookies and stars, and a layout built around autograph, memorabilia, parallel, and insert value. It says for a hobby box, it's high-end enough to appeal to serious collectors without being a super premium case-only product. And that's probably why you don't see Flawless in there.
Yep.
So that one was interesting. Sarah, you got any thoughts on that list?
No.
That was a big build up for nothing. Appreciate that out of you.
Yeah.
Now, all right, that's dynamite. That's what people are here for. Ricky, you want to cue the music and we'll call it a show. I asked Instagram the same question. And I asked Instagram what they thought the best product was out of 2025.
I
had a couple of responses.
Corey Hanlon. Corey Hanlon and I have some things in common.
So before we get on him, because he was a YouTube guy, Cardboard Crossroads said 1-in-1 basketball and photogenic as well. I recall us covering photogenic, which appropriately named. The cards were quite photogenic. Ricky, I think you compared it to Stadium Club baseball.
Right.
1-in-1 to me was a little bit of a surprise. Beautiful
It's in there.
cards. They're encased, but you're only getting 2 cards. You know, if you're opening a box, which I didn't specify a product as box opening, but I thought that was an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to consider 1-in-1, I'm considering Noir.
Okay,
don't know.
I
feel
think
like they
that's
may
very
be
fair.
on par. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, neither hit with me. I mean, I love 1-in-1. Don't get me wrong. But if we're going to operate under a specific parameter of it has to be affordable, although Panini Black is like $500. I mean, I suppose that's probably nothing compared to National Treasure at the moment. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
We had another one that stood out for me from the Instagram responses, and this was Wax Museum Kyle, who commented with Silhouette Basketball. Ricky, Sarah, thoughts on Silhouette Basketball? We certainly covered this, and we certainly had a differing of opinion on this one as well.
Yeah, that product is caca.
Sarah, Sarah, I know you have thoughts on this one. Do you remember this one?
Vaguely. I don't.
Lots of basketball game use patches.
Okay. I was told to be prepared with my favorite of the year, and that's what I'm prepared with.
All right, that's fair enough.
I mean, I
one
can pull up my Excel spreadsheet and give you my opinions on the pricing, which I think is out of control.
Wait, Ricky, I know what's going on here. I know exactly what's going on here. You know, all these weeks, Sarah's been delivering this dynamite content about all of these cards. And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, she's really investing in gaining knowledge about all these products. And you know what it is? She's been faking it.
Yeah. You know what it is? This is like when you're
All
at the
year.
event, when you were little Chad, your legs couldn't even reach over the end of the chair, and you see Hulk Hogan and Warrior in the ring, and you think, everything's safe and fair, and all of a sudden, here comes Sarah with, let me tell you about my list. I think we ought to hear her list.
I'm ready for it.
Okay. You told me to pick one, my top, and mine is Skybox.
That's not even a list.
No, it's just
Drum
one.
roll.
Well, it's a list of one.
There you go.
An army of one.
Skybox Metal Universe Batman, partially because it took a whole year to be released, and partially because it was a better product and cheaper than the 7 products that Disney tried to put out this year. And I'm a little salty about it from Disney.
So take that, Marvel.
Yeah.
So Skybox Metal Universe Batman is the product of the year. Do you know, and the answer can be no, did they receive your highest grade of the year?
No, I don't think they did.
But you're calling it the product of the year.
How can that be?
My
There's an
product of the year.
inconsistency. I'm smelling a PSA scheme behind the scenes
No.
at Mrs. Doc's Grading Incorporated.
I was
That's what I'm
told to say what my favorite of the year was, and I did.
At the Mrs. Doc conglomerate.
This would be a product that I personally would have purchased. I did not, but I would have purchased if I were in the market.
She pulled a PSA, she undercut it, and then now she's gonna give it the big push. Now that she bought it all up.
I haven't bought any.
How much Batman do you have?
Dude, there's
Batman.
like 7 massive boxes in our garage, and I didn't know what was in them. But I think the bat symbol on the side of the box now means something to me.
I think that's the stuff we're moving with us to Washington.
I am seriously concerned about this faking aspect and phenomenon that's been going on weekly here, and I think there's something to it. So Sarah,
what is fake? What am I faking? The research that I'm doing?
No, Sarah, that's the bit. That's the whole bit right there.
Go hit the gong.
That's it. Go hit the gong. There it is. All right, Sarah, I appreciate your input. You got anything else for product of the year?
My second runner up was Allen and Ginter.
Now, you know that Ricky's going to get you a vote with that. And we did have a YouTube comment who had a vote for product of the year being Allen and Ginter.
Yeah.
I think the reasoning that I have behind picking a product of the year is it something I would purchase? Is it a reasonable price? Is it a good product for that price? And I think that Skybox Metal Universe Batman fit that bill for me. And I think Allen and Ginter baseball is a product that they came out, I don't know when, I feel like shortly before we got married, with a product that was like, hey, people may not be collecting baseball cards anymore. So we're going to put a Abraham Lincoln pube in a card, and people are going to go nuts for it, and they're going to buy these baseball cards because there's stuff other than baseball cards. You're going to get a crap ton of cards for not very much money, and you're going to have fun. You're going to remember what collecting was like. And I think that in and of itself is the purpose of the card collecting at all, is here's a bunch of crap. Maybe one of these might be cool. And you might have fun with some of them that aren't worth anything but to you. And
Ricky,
I think that's what card collecting should be about.
That might have been a far better response than anything I've ever said on this show.
I agree. That's why do you think the theme music hit?
Sarah, that's really good. Do you want to stick around for the rest of the show, or are you going to go?
I'm fine. I can stay.
Perfect.
I've been sitting at my desk Waiting to come on.
Waiting for this moment.
Waiting for this moment.
Ricky, we've got a couple in the chat. We've got to vote for the Cup hockey, which we just recently reviewed on Card Talk 24-25, the Cup.
Yeah.
It was $1,500 for 6 cards. I have my Excel spreadsheet pulled up.
Kenny Benson also just says game used in general.
Game used.
Game used might be the product of the year.
Yeah, definitely.
If it were actually real. Which would be fantastic.
Player warn.
Dan comments
player sneeze
on AI's pro debut as a prospects in minor league unis. That's a weird choice. Well, yeah, I would say that as well. Ricky, you got anything else you want to add there? I will be making a final decision here on product of the year.
Oh, you get to make that
done.
decision? I feel like the
yeah.
dog should make that decision.
Well, they're not talking. Max is asleep.
Right now, it's because Ricky's not here.
What's the product that we're gonna be potentially covering next week? Topps Chrome Basketball Galaxy or something?
Cosmic Chrome Baseball?
Or baseball, yeah.
Chrome
and then
basketball.
there was Topps Chrome Basketball.
Okay, yeah, the baseball. I think that's gonna be product of the year.
So
That's
Ricky's
just my
going
vote.
on
That's just my
record.
prediction, and that's before the end of the year, isn't it? Is it not?
It is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're correct. Well, I mean, it hasn't been released yet.
No, but it will
So-
be before 2026 hits.
Next year, I should keep track of how many releases did not release on the date they originally said they were going to release.
Yeah, we got to ding them a point for that.
I've been collecting data since April of this year. Next year, I'll have a whole year of data when we come around to this time next year.
Stats of the round table.
We should have a leaderboard in the new house, like a year-long list. We can have
Yeah.
our B is for whatever slabs
Mhm.
on the left side, and then on the right side, we can have the running list. Okay, so here's my thought. Topps Chrome has come out with a lot of pretty incredible products that have moved the needle for me over the past year, whether it be Disney or whatever the case.
Mhm.
I really am curious at how the response is going to be for Topps Chrome Basketball, which comes out next week. And I think people may lose their absolute minds over it. It is pricey.
Mhm.
It may be the best product that even gets me a little bit excited for basketball cards. But hands down, the product of the year is Silhouette Basketball. And it's
Man.
not even close. Those game-worn jerseys, the patches,
used.
the logos,
Silhouette NBA.
you know how hard it is to find game-used products? You can even have your buddy standing right next to you thinking it's game-used, and it's not.
Mm.
Those are the best basketball patches I've seen in quite some time, especially the NBA Finals relics. So you can mark it down. From me, Panini Silhouette Basketball is the best product of the year for 2025.
Okay, you may have sold me, and I don't know. Yeah, is it 24, 25 Silhouette?
It
It
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Silhouette
It is,
NBA.
I just saw a-
$725. 4 cards.
Yeah, but I just saw a patch that says special edition Christmas, and it has a little Christmas tree tag.
Oh, yeah.
It's a laundry
I've got
tag.
a Rudy Gobert patch that the logo man patch is so big, it like doesn't even fit on the entire card. It's bigger than my 5-head.
Yeah, they're and it's Carmelo Anthony, and I like Carmelo Anthony fine, but I would murder someone to get this card. It is the coolest patch I think I've ever seen. A
You could
Christmas
probably-
patch.
Don't believe you.
Like you could try just offering him money first.
Yeah,
And if it
I
doesn't
suppose
work
I
out,
could.
like you could go to other measures.
Yeah,
Sure,
no, I'd just
but-
freak out. That's a pretty damn cool card.
Yeah.
The logo sucks. But
Well, there you have it. I'm very curious to hear everyone's thoughts on what they would nominate as product of the year and why. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please put it down in the comments, or you can always reach out to us on the Instagram at Pack to the Future Podcast.
The Millennial Instagram.
There you go.
all right. Well, it's been another fun show for Chad, Sarah. I am Ricky. I'm Ricky. The Dan is a problem. Wishing all of you a one of one night. I got a problem.
So do I.
Tell me what you do when your two. Who do you cheer for when your two favorite NFL teams are playing each other?
You become a real NFL fan and you have one
Because
NFL
the-
team.
No, the rule
You should-
is when the Buccaneers wear the creamsicles, they're my favorite team, and when the Falcons wear the red helmets, they're my favorite team. When
You
the
know what I-
Broncos wear the old D helmets, they're my favorite team.
You should ask Jason.
The guy's got like 5 college football teams he roots for.
Yeah, he does. He
Yeah.
does. I
But
put
he
up
also
with
has
it
5
for-
girlfriends, so maybe that's why he's so good at it. You're not gonna be able to do it, Ricky. You only have one wife.
Wait. This is worth talking about. This is worth discussion.
What?
Ricky, did I tell you the move Jason pulled last week?
Oh my god.
Okay,
Okay, so people out here don't know Jason. He's one of Dr. Ghost Hunters, but
Okay.
it doesn't
Just
matter.
making sure you
It's-
guys were aware. We're still on the air.
It's perspective of the story.
Okay.
Um,
I'll talk Jason. You know I'll talk Jason.
all right. Well, how about this? First of all, we'll talk about Dan. So